friends, this is Dr. Amarjit Kaur. I am Professor of Accounting and Communication at Gurugram University. I am heading the Department of Management as Dean. So, I am very happy to be here this afternoon to discuss listening skills as part of business communication. So, we will discuss this topic on listening skills in two parts, part 1 and part 2. In the first part, I will introduce you the topic. We will talk about what all it takes to be a good listener, what all we can identify in a poor listener. This is going to be in the part 1. And in the part 2, we will talk about how to make a very effective communication in terms of listening. All those do's and don'ts we will discuss to make the communication effective from the listening perspective. So friends, listening seems to be very simple word. We all through the time in our day, in our evening, we talk about I listen to this, I listen to him, I listen to her, and we actually listen. Scientists say after breathing, listening is probably the most common activity in humans, right? So it means it is so important. So after breathing, if we are spending any time more than breathing is in the listening only. So that tells us how important it is to be a good listener. So the power of listening can be actually seen from the nature mother itself. We have been created with 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? Though it is not, it just I am using it as a metaphor only to refer to what I am talking, but the point is we have been given 2 ears and 1 mouth. It means we are supposed to be listening more than what we speak in a day. So it is so important, right? So question comes in, what is listening? Listening is basically a two-way, a part of two-way process. Any communication can be effective only and only if the speaker as well as the person who is listening to the other person, they both are speaking well and listener is also listening. So we have a sender of a message and we have a receiver of the message. So the speaker here is the sender, right? And receiver here is the listener. So our communication cannot be effective if either of the two, sender or receiver, are failing in their work, in their process. Is so important. So it means, so the onus of making the communication effective is not only on the speaker. Generally it seems he is a good speaker and he could make his point. My dear, he could make his or her point only because the other side people were listening. They were attentive, they were responding, they were involved completely. So only then the message gets through. So this is how this is the importance of listening, that the end result comes out to be effective communication. So if we define listening, if we say if we want to understand what listening is, so it's a process, as I said. The process comprises few steps. So first is receiving. The listener, the receiver receives the message, right? Of course through ear or maybe through eyes even. It's not all the time that listening is only through the ears. We listen not only what one says, we listen along with the gestures. We listen the message through our ears, but our eyes looks at the gesture as well. Somebody complimented me. Was he sarcastic? What was his body language? Was there a smile on his face? Somebody, congratulated me. Was he or his face sounded happy or smiling while congratulated me? Those are the things we see. It's not only the word congratulations which will draw my attention. It is not only the word, compliment that you are looking beautiful, you are looking very pretty today, this morning. No, that's not enough. We always read the gestures along with the words, right? So receiving doesn't mean only receiving through ears, receiving through eyes. receiving through body language, through gesture is also important. So the process of listening involves receiving it through all means whichever are involved in the communication, then constructing some meaning from it. Once we receive it, once we hear it or we see the message, we construct some meaning. Our mind actually processes that information which we received, that signal which we received, and we try to draw some meaning from it. And then we respond to the person who is communicating to us, either through verbal message or through non-verbal message. So we may respond either way, through spoken language or through non-verbal message. So this is how the process of listening gets complete. So it means there is some receiving of the message, constructing meaning out of it, and then finally responding to it. So responding could be just nodding, even that is response. Responding could be saying something. Responding could be just acting on something. Somebody told you to sit down, you just sat down without saying anything. So that action is also the response to the communication. You were told to switch off your camera or switch off your mobile phones in a meeting. You all did it without any question, without any word being uttered. What is that? Is that not response? That is also a response, right? So the process of communication gets complete the moment the anchor announces, please switch off your cameras, we are going to begin the function in another 2 minutes, and all of you actually switched off your mobile phone. So the process of communication from the anchor to you, where he or she said to switch off the mobile camera, is over by your action simply. So you did not say anything, you didn't answer to her who was announcing it, you simply acted on the announcement. So it's a non-verbal message, it's not a verbal message. So you gave a non-verbal message by switching off your mobile phone. In the plane when you are traveling, if air hostess announces, so we are about to take off, please fasten your seat belt. So we don't respond, we don't say no, we are not going to, or yes, I am going to fasten my seat belt. We simply pick up our seat belt and put a buckle on it, that's all. So even that is a response to the communication air hostess gave you during your travel. I hope you are getting my my message, what I am trying to say through this communication. So you can respond to this message what I am saying. I am trying to ask you, are you getting me? So you can respond it by showing a thumbs up in the chat box if you are watching this video, right? And that means you responded. Doesn't mean that you answered verbally to me, you tried to pick up a call. So those gesture of smile, hands up, thumbs up, they all are the signs that you are responding to my message, and my message is over, is through, my communication is effective, right? So another point is why this guy, who was a listener or a receiver here, he acted because he or she, whosoever acted, even this could mean me traveling. So anybody, if person reacts to the announcement, it means they paid a thoughtful attention to the listening, right? So here it's not just hearing. Somebody acting means it was a thoughtful attention to listening. In few minutes I will discuss the difference between hearing and listening, but here I am introducing listening. So it's important that you understand that thoughtful attention of the listener is basically required to make the communication effective, right? I hope so it is clear that what listening is. So in the listening process there are four main areas involved. First of all, our ear is involved. So we hear through our ears, right? So our ears are involved. Then we seek clarity. So we think about it. Our mind is involved. That cognitive skills are involved. The moment we hear from ear, then we need to process the information, process the message in our mind, to understand, to comprehend what has been said. Okay, so we think about it through our mind by seeking a clarification. Maybe say for example, if I was traveling with my husband in the plane and I was busy listening to some video on my mobile. I did not switch it off because it was yet to be announced to switch off the mobile, and I did not listen to the announcement made by the air hostess. So I seek clarification from my husband or my co-passenger, who anybody who is sitting on my side, asking, did she announce for takeoff? What is that? I am seeking clarification. So I am trying to understand the message communicated by the air hostess, right? So what was that? What did she announce? And then I interpret, oh yes, she announced the takeoff and I need to buckle my seat belt. So that is the interpretation, that what I am supposed to be doing it. So that I interpreted it. Okay, so I got it, the message. Now I actually, at the end, fourth thing, I will be actually putting a buckle, I will be fastening my seat belt, and that is my response to the message, right? So basically these 4 areas are involved in the listening process. We hear, we clarify, we interpret, and then we respond. Same thing happen anywhere. You just think about it. Whatever I am discussing at this point of time, you are hearing me, right? Then in your mind you are thinking what ma'am is discussing, what this lady is discussing. Oh yeah, she is talking about listening skills. Then you are interpreting that she is saying listening is different from hearing. She is saying there are 4 things involved. So you are interpreting in your mind, and finally you are saying, oh yes, I got it. You show me thumbs up, you may not show me thumbs up, but that is your response. That is the final and the 4th step in the listening process. So I hope that is clear to you. Moving forward, we will talk about the communication skills can be more basic than listening. There's nothing more basic than listening in the total communication process. We spend more time in listening than speaking than anything else. It is only after breathing that we spend this much time in listening, right? So, and interesting thing is that we believe that we are good listeners, which we actually seldom are. We are not good listeners. We really need to make efforts to improve listening. The moment we will stop believing that we are good listener, that is the first step towards becoming a good listener, right? So we need to stop believing that we are good listeners. So test yourself, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to communicate, take it seriously and just test yourself that are you a good listener? Just think about it and you will get the answer. So you could be a good hearer, you could be somebody good who is good in hearing somebody. So friends, hearing and listening are 2 different processes. In hearing, it's a physical process, it's a natural but passive process. So why I'm saying it is passive? You are hearing somebody, it is your choice, you comprehend this information or not, you try to understand the information or not, and you respond or not, you give the feedback or not. So it's just a passive process, because in hearing you don't take the onus to response, you do not take the onus to understand, you simply hear it by using your ears, which is a natural process. God has gifted you ears and you are just hearing. Okay, it's a physical process basically, like we breathe, it's a physical process. Okay, so same way, if we talk about listening, it's different from hearing. How? It's not only a physical process, it's a mental process. If you remember those 4 things, we said you clarify. How do you clarify unless you process that information in your mind, right? So your mind is involved. This is a mental process. listening is a mental process. Your mind is involved in seeking the clarification at the first hand, then your mind processes the information, the message, to understand it, to interpret the meaning of what the other person said to you, right? And then it's an active process. You respond by doing something, by nodding, by answering, by reacting, by questioning, by arguing, anything. Okay, so it's an active process. All these steps which I said at the end are basically actions. You acted upon what you listened, right? So listening is a physical and mental process, whereas hearing is just a natural passive process. Okay, but friends, listening is very, very hard. Believe me or not, it's very hard. Okay, so you must actually choose to participate in the process of listening. The moment you decide to be a good listener, you are going to be becoming a good learner, good leader. So leaders, this is the first important quality leaders should have. They should be good listener. Unless you pay attention to your team members, to the problems your team members have, you cannot think of solving the problem. So the essential for a good leader, a good human being even for that matter, you have to be a good listener, having to be the skill of listening. So you needed to be a good listener. Okay, so what all elements we do have in listening, what all characteristics do we have in the listening process? So in the listening process, the person who is listening should look interested. So this is just as a acronym we are using, listen, to help you understand what listening means. So L stands for look interested. Someone who is hearing to other should be looking interested in the conversation, in the message, in the idea the other person is communicating. Then you should involve yourself by responding. So involving oneself is another thing, another element required in listening. So first thing is that we are looking interested. Second thing is we are involving ourselves by responding. By seeking clarification is just a involvement. It means you are listening. By putting your seat belt or fastening your seat belt in the example I took, it means you were responding. So you are involving yourself in the conversation, in the message, right? The third element is we should stay on target. The target is the person who is communicating and the message or the idea person is going to give. So we should, if we are listening to somebody, the target is the speaker. So we should not move away from our attention from the speaker. So our attention should stay on the target here. Okay. Then the fourth point is test your understanding by seeking clarification, by nodding your head, by showing a surprise, by showing scaredness in your eyes if it is a matter of some bad news. So whatever, body gestures, verbally, anyways, but you should be testing your understanding by questioning it, right? And then evaluate the message. Think about it. I am thinking this was the message she tries to communicate. Is that what it was? Right? So first thing that I am getting the message of positive news from her side if you have requested somebody for a job. But then think about it. Was that the meaning she was trying to say? Because she did not say directly anything to you. You are trying to understand. She complimented you on your achievements. She was happy. She was smiling all through the interview process, telling you did a wonderful job and you have good credentials and all. So evaluate the message. This is what she said, but does it mean she is going to give you or she was trying to say that you have been hired? No. You need to evaluate what she was trying to say if it was not said directly. right? Just don't jump onto the conclusion. Try to evaluate the message somebody is giving. Okay, and finally, do not let your feelings be neutral. Neutral. Do not let your feelings affect the evaluation of the message. One should not be bringing his or her feeling to comprehend the message. You may have bad feelings for somebody, you may have very good feelings for somebody. Leave that aside. Pay attention to the message at that point of time. Stay focused on the target, right? That's what I said. So for that, it's important that you stay neutral. You do not let your feelings get involved or get tangled in with your thinking, because thinking is something which is happening right away over listening to the message, whereas if you have your past feeling, your any other feeling, any other experience related to someone else is trying to influence your comprehension of the message, don't let that happen if you want to be a good listener. These are the elements required, or the characteristics required in listening. So I shall now be discussing how to be a good listener. There are a couple of points in how to be a good listener. The first point is know your power as listener. Okay, so you are listener, you are sitting there, you are standing somewhere listening to somebody. Don't just be feeling very tiny while standing in front of somebody or sitting in front of somebody, that you are having no power. The person who is speaking has all the power. No, you have equal power. Unless you note to what he or she is saying to you, it means he or she didn't succeed, right? The success of communication of when it comes from the speaker side is only when the listener responds. Okay. Then the second point is ask questions. You should be asking questions to make the speaker feel that you are engaged in the discussion, you are attentive, and you are able to comprehend. So asking question is the second important way to prove that you are a good listener. Reflect your feelings. If you got annoyed or if you got happy by listening to something, just show it. It should come on your face, it should come on your gestures, right? So somebody complimented you, you say with smile, so that feeling is reflected that yes, I felt good when you complimented me. So that's how we reflect our feelings through our body gestures, through our words. So that is a good sign of a good listener. Then reassurance of the messages. We reassure that yes, I listen to you. So by questioning, by nodding, these are the, by asking again, by seeking clarification, these are the ways to reassure that I got your message. You simply said yes, I received it. Yes, you said right. Yes, I got it. These are the ways to reassure that the message got through. And it's important that you can be good listener if you know your prejudices. What are prejudices? Prejudices are the assumptions we have, the judgment we carry in our mind. We should be knowing it. We should never, why I'm saying that we should be knowing it? Because we should not allow those judgments, our judgments, personal judgments, to interpret the message wrongly, right? We should never let it interpret it wrong. So make sure that you know that I am biased towards females. I like female candidates more than a male candidate in any interview. So I know this as a prejudice. So I should not be letting it happen in my communication when I am talking to a male in the interview, right? So that it means I am not a good listener if I have some prejudices. We should avoid judgments. We should not be making any judgment without knowing the complete story, without knowing the whole matter. So that is another thing to be a good listener. And lastly, the last point is we should avoid anger. anger doesn't help you to understand the message truly effectively, right? If you really wish to understand what he or she is saying, to whom you are communicating to, it's important that you never let your anger comprehend the message, because here we are talking about listening only, not reactions. Okay, so avoid any anger in the communication. Believe me, if you will pay attention to what the speaker is saying without getting angry, you will have a better clarity. So this is how you can be a good listener. Friends, I hope you could understand, you could comprehend, I hope you were good listeners during these few minutes and understood that what is listening, what is all required in the good listen, as a good listener. So thank you very much for being with me. Thank you. See you soon.